So we are back with the Speedster Pro build here, and we have just finished doing the decals, lamination and hinging, and we have followed the VT Speedster build more or less, and the only difference so far we have come across was to create this cutout at 10 centimeters instead of 14 centimeters. Now the other differentiation would be that we will be gluing this center bay here onto the panels. So what we have here is the wing panels kept on their beds, the bottom parts of their beds, and what we will do is that we will glue one side of the panel to the center bay, aligning with the leading edge, and then once the glue is cured, then we will install the other end. But before we do this all, we have to go back and cut this out and install the GoPro mount. So we have the GoPro mount here assembled, and the build was pretty straightforward, everything interlocked and fit in place. And what we are now going to do is we shall cut. So on the bay we shall cut out approximately 3 centimeters in. So we will draw a line. We will draw a straight line here. Straight line here, approximately 3 centimeters from the leading edge, and in fact we can go further behind. I think we should go back 4 centimeters. So we are at 4 centimeter mark now. Draw another line. Yeah, and we shall cut this out from here so that this can go in. Hold the scale. और थोड़ा सा so a straight cut. So we have cut out the leading edge part, and we shall now install the bay here by marking the 3 points exactly at the center. What we will do is we will press this bay gently so the marks are created, and we shall create cutouts using the knife. And gently install this in place. So this is now cut. We'll keep this aside now and resume back to joining the wing panels, and for that we'll make some epoxy now. So we can join the front panel here, and the mount. So so this should align right at the leading edge, so maybe you can mark it here where it aligns, and at the trailing edge also you can mark it. And now you might also need to sand this slightly to make sure this fits straight and true. So there should not be any angle here. It should be absolutely straight, joining and kept on the wing bed. That is why we use the wing bed, to make sure everything is aligned properly. The epoxy is ready. And we will coat both sides with epoxy. You can also use PU, polyurethane glue, or the Hobby King Chinese glue here. but not CA, which melts the EPS foam. So we are putting the epoxy. That is good. Anything more? Okay. So clean up and be ready with the packing tape. The T-spar will lock this all in when we install later. Let's put the packing tape after cleaning up. And we'll invert the wing and tape on this side while holding the parts tightly together. Okay. Now we shall leave this aside to cure for about 5 minutes. Just make sure everything is aligned and proper. This is good, this is okay. Everything is tight, and so leave this aside for 5 minutes and we'll be back and glue the other side onto this center base. So the glue has cured. It looks like 5 minutes have elapsed and the glue has cured, and we are ready to glue the other side. This time it is better. You may need to sand these edges first before you do these steps to make sure the parts fit in properly. So ready with the packing tape. So be sure to align properly before you glue in place, and be sure to keep the wing over the bed. Hold it very tight. Everything will lock in once the spar will be put up. tape on the front side gave away. We'll have to leave this to cure, and once this is cured, we'll come back and install the T-spar on the back side of this Speedster Pro. Okay, the next step would be that we will install the spar. For this, we will have to put the wing upside down, and we will replace the wing beds with the bottom wing beds, the left wing bed and the right wing bed here. We shall keep the wing on the bed when we install the spar. And what we will do is the spar supplied for Speedster Pro is longer than the spar supplied for the standard Speedster, and we are going to install this 18 centimeters back from the leading edge. So I'm going to make a mark at 18 centimeters here, and we shall draw a straight line 54. So now, how to check for the straight line? We will check the distance from the leading edge at 18 here. Okay, 18 here, and the angle distances also. These distances also should be use the longer tape, measuring tape, to check. The spar has to be perfectly so they are at approximately 36 centimeters, and let's check this side. Okay, so 18 centimeters, and I'm drawing a length approximate here, and we are 18 centimeters back and a straight line here. Now we are going to measure half of this rod, which is 27, and extend this line to this side, and this goes in exactly. The center base 12 centimeters wide, so we shall keep the center point at 6 centimeters. So next step is that we shall cut this out. So extend the line here. So now we are going to cut this out using a very sharp knife, very gently, because we do not want to damage the wing at this point. Especially pay care when you go over the center part. Go in several passes. Okay, and then we shall increase the depth of the cut gently with the T-spar. And let's mix up some epoxy. So the epoxy is ready and the spar cut is also final. Coat the T-spar with the epoxy and we shall install this out here. Coat across the entire length. You can also sand the T-spar slightly to scratch the upper layer and get a better adhesion, but all that is usually not necessary because of the very tight fit the spar has within the foam. In fact, for better strength, what you can also do is that from this cut line, 1 centimeter on one side and 1 centimeter on the other side, cut out the lamination and remove the lamination film so that the epoxy adheres, the spar adheres better to the foam instead of the lamination film. But all that will just add to extra strength, and I found that what we have here is usually enough. So I'll just go ahead and push this in place. Be careful, very gentle. Make sure the wing is flat on the bed, but when you add pressure you can bring the beds closer. And double check by keeping the bed symmetrical so that the entire wing is absolutely flat. And I think the spar is glued. The last step we'll do is we shall put the lamination. Okay, so here's the Speedster Pro almost set up. We'll leave the epoxy to cure. We've inspected all the joints and then we'll return back and glue and install the electronics, the servos, the motor mount, and continue with the build shortly.